You know, in the history of the NHL, we kind of judge our players by the numbers they wear. Now, we all know the 77, the 88s, the 99s, the 9s, the 10s, the 29s. But this guy was not a zero, but he was well known for being one of only two players in NHL history, besides Paul Bibeau of the Habs many years ago, to wear the number zero. But this guy was not a zero, far from it. One of the most beloved and appreciated players of his era. And this request comes from my good friend and follower, Bo Sheaves, from Woodstock, New Brunswick, who basically told me recently he made contact with Neil to talk about hockey, especially his time with the Moncton Golden Flames, where he was a New Brunswick hero to many. So again, today we're going to be talking about the man that's made a war zero, but is number one in many hearts, Neil Sheehy. Now, Neil Kane Sheehy, born February 9, 1960, is a Canadian-born American pro hockey player with dual citizenship. Now, he grew up in International Falls, Minnesota, after being born in Fort Frances, and he turned to a big player. 6'2", 215, one of the biggest defensemen actually in Harvard University history. Now, first came to major prominence with the Phillips Academy Andover of the Massachusetts high school program, graduated to Harvard, and put up some really consistent numbers over 4 seasons in the ECAC with an average of 15 points per season in his last 3 campaigns. His last season for many was his best in '83, where he had 5 goals and 13 assists for 18 points in 34 games. Now, what was ironic about Neil, he was never drafted, ladies and gentlemen. He found his way to the NHL after playing with their affiliated Colorado Flames after Calgary had signed him. And in his first major league game, he broke kind of a standard bear. I don't remember how many defensemen scored a goal in the first NHL game, but he did that. And he also played 4 games in Calgary's run in '84. Now, in '85, he played 31 games with the Flames, but this is where his connection with New Brunswick comes in. He played 34 games with the Golden Flames affiliate in Moncton, 15 points, again, 7 points in 31 playoff games. Now, Calgary, he played a big factor in their playoff run. He had 18 points in 65 regular season games and played all of Calgary's games in their Stanley Cup eventual loss to Montreal. He played 22 games, 2 assists. He also played with Moncton that year. '87, he was a mainstay with Calgary with 10 points in 54 games. But '88, he found himself outside of Calgary, where he was eventually found in the Hartford program. That year, he had 62 games with 13 points. '89, another shift, he found himself with Washington and eventually played 2 seasons there and played 2 games in the playoffs in '91 as part of a return to North America. Now, she is only one of only 2 players to wear the number 0. Now, after NHL statisticians discovered a bug in their new stat tracking software, the league restricted jersey numbers to whole numbers between 1 and 99, later limited to numbers between 1 and 98, after the league retired Gretzky's jersey. Now, she will be the only person allowed, or the last person, to wear the number 0, which he wore, of course, with Hartford in '88. Now, his older brother is former NHL USA Olympic team member Timothy Sheehy, a very talented player as well. Now, he played overseas with Olympia Ljubljana for 2 seasons, including '93 and '94, and he wrapped up his career in the major pros with Calgary in '92 with 3 points and 35 games. Very rugged player, good fighter, not say a goon per se, but a strong enforcer protecting all those top Calgary players. And he just missed out on being with Calgary in that '89 Cup run. But when I saw Calgary win in '89, I said to myself the whole lot to Neil for keeping their top players safe from harm, as we like to say, and a teammate, of course, of Brett Hull as well. Now, internationally, he played with the United States in '85 and '92, and some of the better U.S. teams of the mid '80s to early '90s, and remains a very, very beloved player. He does a lot of outreach in hockey, still active on many, many levels in hockey in his home region, and within the NHL family. So again, Bo Sheaves always coming up with a good idea, and some people in Quebec media call him Sheehy the Butcher. I don't call him that, but he came across like kind of a pro wrestler. He was a lot tough, and some of the Quebec media call him Sheehy the Butcher, not because he was bad with the stick, but because he was tough like Butcher Vachon. So that's a term of endearment that we used to use back in the day. So that's the legend of Neil Sheehy. Thanks for listening. Bye.